Good day. For today, we are going to discuss the several phases to be followed in polygraph examination. Phase 1 Preliminary Preparation. This is the initial interview with the investigator handling the case. Person involved was the victim or the complainant, suspects, and the witnesses. Phase 2 The pretest interview. This is the interview of the subject. The primary purpose of it is to prepare or condition the subject for the interview. Phase 3 The examination proper. After the pretest interview, the examiner should proceed to the placement or attachment of the polygraph sensor. First to be attached was the pneumograph, to be followed by cardioseismograph and the galvanograph sensor. Review all the questions with the subject before the actual examination is made. The examiner should discourage any comment or statement by the subject. The test instrument must give to the subject upon the completion of the necessary preliminary preparation. Phase 4 The post-test interview. This stage includes all the consideration that bears on the examination. This is done just after the instrument turned on. Polygraph test results indicate this action. The examiner will then proceed to the conduct of short interrogation, while the purpose of which is to obtain confession. However, if the polygraph indicates that the subject is innocent, the examiner will just release the subject cordially and thanks him or her for his or her cooperation. The purpose for further questioning after the test are to clarify the findings, to learn if there are any of the reason for the subjects responding to the relevant question other than the knowledge of the crime, and to obtain additional information and admission for law enforcement purpose if the results suggest deception. Now, let's move on how does the general question test formulated. The general question test consists of relevant and irrelevant questions as in a planned order. Questions are so arranged as to make the comparison of response to relevant question with the subject's norms made during answering the irrelevant questions. Irrelevant question or unrelated or immaterial question. These are the questions which have no bearing to the case under investigation. Relevant question or the leaded or material question. This question is pertaining to the issue under investigation. It is equally important to limit the number of relevant questions to avoid the discomfort to the subject. Relevant questions must be very specific to obtain an accurate result. Control question. These are questions unrelated to the matter under investigation but are similar to the nature, although less serious as compared to those relevant questions under investigation. The use of control question is considered by many polygraphists to be the most reliable and effective questioning technique. These are usually asked if there is doubt in the interpretation of subject response to the relevant and irrelevant questions. The relevant question. Functionally, relevant questions are questions directly related to the offense under investigation. Relevant questions are further classified according to the simulation effect when applied, namely, strong relevant or primary relevant question, which has the intense relationship to the crime or problem being considered. This is intended to produce a strong emotional response in the guilt of subject. Example is, did you steal the wallet of Rose? Next is secondary or weak relevant. These are questions that concern with the element of crime and deal mostly with the guilt, knowledge, and partial involvement. Example, between 10 to 12 a.m. of February 10, 2011, did you open the table drawer of Mr. De La Cruz? Weak relevant are further classified into the diet question and knowledge question. Sacrifice or diet question, or do you intend to under truthfully, are designed to absorb the response generally generated by the introduction of the first relevant question in the series. Reaction to those questions gives the examiner clues as to the subject attitude of willingness or voluntariness to submit the test. Example, regarding the stolen wallet, do you intend truthfully to answer each question about that? Then the knowledge question. This type of question is produced to the subject detect information about the crime that only a guilty subject would have. Such information might include detail about the crime or the means of committing it, such as the type of the weapon used. To have evidence connecting question. This has to do with the inviting subject attention on the probability of the incriminating proof that would tend to establish his guilt by linking him and his predicament to the fingerprint, footprint, tool mark, and etc. collected at the crime scene. Example, were the footprint outside the house of Rose yours? Then the control question. Control questions are used for the purpose of comparison. Essentially, truthfully, subjects are believed by the polygraph examiner to be more concerned about the control and relevant questions. The response to both control and relevant questions are compared. Controlled question has two kinds, the primary controlled question and the secondary controlled question. Primary controlled question recalls the offense done from the time of the childhood up to the 3 to 5 years old before the occurrence of the present offense being investigated. Example, before reaching the age of 28, do you have ever stolen? Then the secondary controlled question is more specific in nature. It is based upon the other sort of wrongdoing which will enhance the subject opportunity for responsiveness. Its scope include up to the present period of examination. Example of it is, have you stolen anything in this locality? Lastly, we have the irrelevant or neutral question. This type of questions which have no importance to the case under investigation. These are questions which are believed to have no or very little emotional impact to the subject. Thus, such question can be used as an indicator for the particular subject's normal baseline level of arousal. This must be perceived to the relevant ones. Example, did you eat today? Do you smoke? Do you live in Burgos Street, Bacolod City? Sample question in general question test. Do you drink water? Do you have spouse? Do you have anything to do with the theft at Castro of Sunshine Computer Shop? Are you over 30 years old? Were you one of those who stolen the Castro of Sunshine Computer Shop last night? Have you been involved in the theft case last year? Are you employed at AAA Super Security? Was the pair of shoes found at Castro of Sunshine Computer Shop yours? Do you know anyone involved in the robbery at Castro Sunrise Computer Shop last night? Do you have ever been involved in any theft case in your entire life? Do you have deliberately lied to the question I have asked to you?